What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is down 1.3%, 23.59 the low, 24.89 the high. So a lot of volatility, and you're seeing okay-ish volume. So 6.3 million shares being traded, 11.6 is the average. One data point did come out that I think the market is digesting, and that is 54,000 for the Challenger job cuts. Forecast was 150. So very, very good stuff. Although because of this being positive, it did diminish the likelihood of a 50 basis point cut. So for those of you that tuned in yesterday, there was a 1 or 2% likelihood of a 50 basis point cut. That kind of went away. But as I've mentioned, I do feel by the end of this week, we should start seeing the market price in a 25 basis point cut. So again, that could be coming over the next couple of trading days. As far as specific to Lucid, no official news, no SEC filings or anything like that. Reason why Lucid is pulling lower despite a lot of the broader market rallying today is because of both Tesla and also Rivian. Both put out their Q3 numbers. In Tesla's case, absolutely amazing numbers. Although they did hint that Q4, because of that 7,500 credit going away, won't be that great. So Tesla in Q3 did phenomenal. Again, they kind of cited that the whole incentive ending on September the 30th saw a huge push because of that. People wanted to buy vehicles. Tesla is a little bit different of a beast because a lot of their vehicles actually do just straight up qualify for that. In Lucid's case, has to be done through leasing. And in Rivian's case, so Rivian also is affecting Lucid, probably more so than Tesla in my opinion. And the reason why they are going down and getting slammed is because of their numbers. So they did produce 10,720. They did deliver 13,201. And they did also lower their guidance slightly. So not the best. And so I think in general right now, like if Lucid can hit a amazing Q3 number, production and delivery, which might come out, you never know, possibly tomorrow, if not early next week, then you'll see like people's mentality of Rivian and Lucid start to separate, because I think generally we already know whatever happens to Tesla, good, bad, and the ugly, trickles down to other EVs. Rivian and Lucid, they started production at the exact same time. So a lot of people always compare the two. So if one is experiencing some difficulty, it's fair to assume the other is going to as well. So in general, that is why Lucid is getting hit. At the same time, you did have these numbers that did come out, although take this with a grain of salt. Some people are still spreading this around, even though I think it's been mentioned by numerous individuals from Lucid itself that these are not accurate. But from this, it does show only US sales for September. It does indicate Lucid had 780 and then 130 for truck, aka SUV. I still do feel, because I don't see other individuals for like GM, Tesla, Rivian, I don't see any of those investors complaining. So I feel like something, I don't know if Moto Intelligence does need to reach out to Lucid and see exactly how like the sales are being coded, because like I said, like it would be good to use this as a good tool if this was accurate, but clearly someone's wrong. And like I said, I don't really see anyone complaining from Rivian, Tesla, or anyone else. So let me know your general thoughts on that. So this you can kind of use as a benchmark, maybe take this times by 4, 5, possibly 6, and that might be accurate. But again, I think it goes to show that someone is not coding something correctly. Aside from that, shorts are increasing 574,000 shares today. 30.64% of the free float is being shorted, and that works out to be 38.89 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average 25.82, and then short score is 82.16. So again, if like let's say Lucid does put out phenomenal Q3 numbers, then you'll see a very nice push higher. So let me know your viewpoint on that. DTC still sitting at 3.08 days, does signal that shorts are very overextended. Looking at the options, 1.19 million in calls, 622,000 in puts. 58% of all the options being done are bullish in nature, which is rather surprising, because normally when we see Lucid pull back as what it is, you don't see this optimism. So definitely good to see. Coming from the bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that looks like 24 to 25, $24.50 to $25 range. Bears are anticipating for it to be a sub pretty much $23. So tomorrow clearly is going to be a very big day for the broader market. These are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market. So you do see a lot of selling right here, a couple of pockets of buying, so roughly 4 buys, the rest are sells. These are all the transactions occurring on the dark pool above $100,000. So even when it comes down to this, it is rather quiet. With it right now at 24.08, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. I'm looking at the 1-day chart, so these are very strong support and resistance points. So moral of the story, just watch for 24.73 in the short term for Lucid to ideally get above that. It's pretty much fair to assume that's going to be off the table for today, but for tomorrow, just watch for it to get above that 24.73. Aside from all that fun stuff though, on the actual chart itself, this is open door, so you guys don't need this whatsoever. So pulling up Lucid, it is and did bounce off of that 200-day moving average, so just wedge bound between that 100 and 200-day moving averages, but still I think Lucid's doing fairly well given what it has actually accomplished in the short term. And you can only imagine if they actually do put out a very good catalyst, how high it could potentially go. One thing to take note of though, stochastic RSI, it is very overbought, so the first sign of weakness, you could see a certain kind of significant pullback, so consolidation, so just be aware of that. And then aside from that, looking at the flow, you see a lot of algorithmic trading right here, so as I mentioned, that's kind of where the majority of the volume is coming from. But all Lucid needs is that nice gentle push to get over that wall of selling right here, and then it could easily fly. It just needs that gentle push, and hopefully their Q3 numbers will be that. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and take a look at that. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.